Browning really do have a great set of competition guns at the moment, and no more so than this, the XS Pro. So the Ultra XS Pro Adjustable, a gun that has been around in many guises for many years, essentially is the highest end of the 525 platform for competition guns. But they kind of hung on to it, although they still now do the 725 Pro sponsor, because this gun has a lot of sentimental value to a lot of people. And as such, you'll find that most people shooting this will be slightly odd because they remember it when it first came out, this being probably, at the time, one of the best shotguns on the market for sporting plays. So, starting at the back, you have the Browning interchangeable pad system. And when you buy this gun, you get loads and loads of stuff. You get 2 spare pads, 2 spare triggers, you get the Pro Balance kit. So that's the real biggest change from the Ultra XS of old to the XS Pros. You have the balance kit, amongst a couple of other little bits like the new choke system, that makes a huge difference. You get a gun sock, an anti-rust gun sock, you get a choke key, you get a gun lock, you get 8 spare chokes. We get 8 chokes in total, sorry. It's quite good, really. Anyway, so pads wise, this pad will have it at just about 14 or 5/8, and with the various pad systems, it will go out to just under 15 inches with the larger pad, and with the largest pad, just over 15. And then you can put little spaces in and such to make it pretty much as long as you want. Again, interchangeable pad system, brilliant. Grade 4 wood with adjuster. On this gun, they don't have the rear adjuster, they've got a more conventional side adjustment thing, and that's nice in itself. As you can see, this gun is second-hand and has suffered what happens to a lot of adjustable cones, is that little biting around the back there. But yeah, grade 4 oil finished wood, hand checkered, no palm swell. The lack of palm swell is quite an interesting one. Again, appeals generally to a slightly older market because it's quite an old-fashioned thing not to have a palm swell. Not that it makes this gun any less good. In fact, there is places where a palm swell can be a hindrance, in fact. Manual safety with selector and a standard Browning 525 action internally, which, as we all know, I was going to say it's the best, that's biased, is really very good. Adjustable trigger in gold, like I said, you get spares, Browning buck mark on the bottom, and then on the action you have small gold inlays with very light scroll work. It's a very minimalist action, but with just enough traditional engraving to be considered beautiful, simplistic and beautiful. XS Pro engraved on the side with a gold Browning buck mark on the flank there, and that is on both sides. Again, a really delicately classy designed gun. Big fan. Forend is a beaver tail. Again, with most Brownings, when you order them, you can actually order it pretty much however you want. So you could have ordered this with a Schnabel forend if you want, but as standard it comes with this. It's a 13-10 tapered rib, although it tapers out from the back like that tombstone, off of the standard 10, out to 13, back to 10 with a twin bead sight, although the front sight has been removed. External chokes, which are Invector Plus titanium, which it means they are lighter weight. There's positives there. They're not the DS, so they're just different. They throw decent enough patterns, but more importantly, they're a very lightweight choke set, which means you don't have to barrel a heavier gun. A mixture of the lightweight chokes mixed with the adjustable cone lends itself to a fairly neutrally balanced gun. However, with the balancing kit, it means pretty much you can make this gun balance however the hell you want, which is kind of nice, given that you can then make it very personal. Given the fact that you have the balancing weights, means you can push the weight as far back, or essentially as far forward as you would like, by removing or adding them into the stock. Great, really, one way or another, to be able to customize a gun for yourself. The barrels in this are backboard or overboard to 18.7. Whether you like that or not, it's very much up to you, but they do throw decent enough patterns. I mean, their barrels have been around in this spec for a very long time and nobody has missed because of those. This gun is essentially aimed at somebody who wants a dedicated sporter, a quality dedicated sporter, but wants something maybe a little bit older fashioned, not stupidly heavy, because it is not stupidly heavy for the size and the sort of spec of it, and something that is very elegant in itself. And I think it actually really achieves all of those things, regardless of being built on that deep Browning action that sometimes can make a gun look less than elegant. So this gun weighs in at 8 pounds, although that can obviously vary depending on which weights are in it. And yet, actually, it feels really nice. It handles like a much lighter gun. In a world where sporters or top-end sporters are just getting, I say, heavier and heavier, they sort of peaked out about 8.5 pounds for most of the sort of pro-level ones. An 8-pound gun is not untoward. However, it doesn't feel like an 8-pound gun, as I've already said, because of the balance and the way it handles and the way it feels in the hand. Actually distributes the weight very nicely. For those of you who like the Ultras of old, this really is a beautiful modern incarnation of that spec. It's nice, it's modern, it's new, it's got enough new features to be exciting, and yet enough old features to feel just enough like the old Ultra XS, which I must admit I hankered after massively when I was getting into the sport. And it's available new, so you know how to buy a second-hand one. Yeah, it's quite a bit of money, and I honestly think personally, and I think it's just a case of where I am in my clay shooting journey, I would probably go for the 75 Pro Sport. I just currently am preferring those kind of chunkier guns. But I think I'd rather get this out of a bag, if you know what I mean. I'd rather shoot that, but I'd probably rather own this. Guys, thank you very much for watching. Take care. Goodbye. I'll see you next time.